I can find the email address on the website. Okay, if you say so. The backstory: I've had a shoulder injury for over a decade. When it occurred, I had an MRI and was told the cartilage was fractured and tendon torn. Whilst healthcare is free in my part of the world, the lack of income while I would be healing prevented me from doing anything till 2017, when I figured I had a well-paying job and plenty of sick leave available. So I started the ball rolling on getting it fixed. I was initially put through physio to try and fix the problem, or at least strengthen the shoulder. I completed the physio, and as expected, the shoulder was still an issue, albeit stronger now. Forward to the start of 2018 and I had an MRI. I was told I'd hear from them in a few weeks to have a review. 6 months later, after extensive nagging from my wife, I finally called the hospital to see what was happening. Nothing like being told that the case had been closed. After a few firm but polite words, my case was returned to the waiting list. Wife was happy. I was content to be back on the list, although rather confused that I'd been removed. So I waited and waited and waited. The setup: my wife is a loving woman and I am damn lucky to have her. After her nagging for me to chase it up, falling on deaf ears, although this is also because my work hours make me unable to contact the hospital during their office hours, this tremendous woman decided to sort it out for me and find out what was happening. That is, am I still on the waiting list? After all, it was now almost 18 months since the MRI had been taken. My wife contacted the hospital and after being transferred a few times was connected to the right department. Unfortunately, she got stuck with an absolute Karen. The first response from Karen after hearing from my wife was to tell her she's not authorized to discuss the case with her. I've made it very clear in the past that my wife is authorized to act on my behalf. I could only assume later that this may have been due to the reactivation of my status via phone. My wife tried convincing her that she didn't require any details. All she wanted was for Karen to confirm if I was still on the waiting list. Karen, however, wouldn't give up so easily and continued to block my wife's request. Could Karen call me to inform me of my status? No. Blocked. Could Karen email me? Blocked. As you could imagine, my wife was getting a little frustrated by now. Finally, Karen did something useful. Since she wasn't going to contact me, I could contact her. My wife reminded her that calling during office hours wasn't possible. Karen countered, stating that's okay, he can email us. Wife: thanks Karen. What's the email address? There isn't any on our paperwork. Karen: that's okay, it's on the website. Wife: I have a paper and pen, could you tell me the email address? Karen: it's on the website, you'll find it there. Wife: whereabouts on the website? Karen: you'll find it on the website. Wife: I understand you're telling me it's on the website. What I am asking is, where on the website is it? What should I be looking for? Karen: I told you, it's on the website. At this point, my wife was frustrated and tired from trying to jump through Karen's hoops. She thanked Karen for her time and finished the call. Frustrated, my wife contacted the local member of parliament for advice on how to resolve the situation. During my evening drive, I was listening to my frustrated, annoyed wife. She regaled me with a pointless call to the hospital and then her markedly better call with the local MP member of parliament. I felt anger and annoyance. My wife had tried doing something lovely and had copped poor treatment from the hospital. My told me when I got home I was going to write an email to the Minister of Health, as that was the MP's recommendation. After a moment's thought, I told my wife no. The malicious compliance. I arrived home and told my wife that I was thankful for her time and effort, but it was alright, I would take care of the situation now, and I am sorry that she'd had such a hard time that day. I opened my laptop and downloaded a program. This program is designed for marketing. It will scour through a website and pull any contact details, email address, name, title, contact numbers, etc., and compile them for people to then cold call employees of a company. I typed up an email detailing my case history, being dropped off and returned to the waiting list, my concerns about the validity of an 18-month-old MRI for surgeons, and the supportive albeit succinct advice from Karen. I identified her department and name-dropped her a few times in the email. Returning to my email spider program, I found a healthy 768 email addresses. After some thoughtful reflection, I removed any email address that didn't belong to the hospital, leaving me with a still rather healthy 300 plus email addresses. Copy, paste into the to field. Then to continue to up my game, I CC'd in the department for the Minister of Health, the Minister of Health, Shadow Department for the Minister of Health, Shadow Minister of Health, and then the local MP. I've returned to my email and thanked the MP for their assistance, emphasizing how thankful I am as we are in the middle of an election. It's amazing how helpful politicians are around election time. I read the email one more time to make sure I had captured everything I had wanted. It needed just one more item to highlight the importance of the email. I would like to thank Karen from Support Liaison for the limited support she was able to offer my wife despite her not being apparently authorized. I would also like to thank Karen for her clearly perfunctory instructions that the email address I needed to contact was on the hospital website, albeit with no additional information as to the location of the email address. I had to do some searching. Having followed Karen's instructions, I had found this email on the hospital website. Admittedly, it is only one of the 319 hospital email addresses I found. I presumed one of the remaining 768 email address not belonging to hospital is not the one I am after, although I'll assume no response from this email is an indication perhaps it is, or perhaps I should be trying the other hospital subdomains and associated websites. If for some reason Karen's instructions have resulted in this being inadvertently sent to the wrong email address, please forward this to the correct department or Karen from Support Liaison. I am sure with her cursory instructions she'll be able to direct this appropriately. With that little extra added, I smother a nod and hit send. As an amusing aside, I found over 3,000 plus email addresses when I included the subdomains. I should point out that the hospital is a large group of hospitals covering a large region. The outcome: Week 1. The following day I returned to work. In my lunch break I did my usual catch up on emails, except I noticed I had a few calls too. 911- missed call, 918- missed call, 925- email 1. Dear Cyberphobia, thanks for your feedback, and I just wanted to update you and let you know that I have spoken to your spouse and given her the following information. At this point, I have logged your complaint and sent it to the head of Unit for Ortho and Referral Management for investigation and response. I can confirm that you are on the orthopedic waitlist and have been since the 27.418. I have put a comment on our database under her details as emergency contact that states all information about appointments can be given to MRS Cyberphobia as per direct permission from MRS Cyberphobia. I will follow up and escalate the complaint about lack of support given to your spouse by the patient relations coordinator she spoke to. I will keep your spouse and you updated on the outcome of the orthopedics appointment as soon as I am advised. I have a couple of questions I just need to ask you in relation to your concerns raised. Do you wish to have any response or outcome from hospital about this complaint relayed to the office of HUN local MP? May I please have your permission to put your email address on our database? Please feel free to contact me if you wish to discuss anything further. Regards, not Karen. 11:23- missed call. An appointment has been booked. 1:16- email 2- appointment details. I received an additional 38 automated email responses and another 5 responses from various individuals' departments wishing to contact me. I responded to the email from the not Karen and stated that I did not believe the details needed to be relayed to the MP at this point in time. Week 2. I attended my orthopedic appointment. The expected 2-3 hour waiting room experience was a brief 30 minutes to see the surgeon. As expected, surgery was the outcome. I make my way to the desk to provide my details to be put on the surgical wait list. The nurse behind the counter makes a quip about it being a priority. That's strange. I am not in urgent need for this. I've lived with it for the last decade. I get told I should have some details sent out to me in the next week or so detailing my priority. Week 3. I receive a call about my available brother-in-law. Standard sort of stuff. Can I attend same day if they have a late cancellation? I need a few days at least to ensure transition for my work. On the Friday I received some paperwork detailing that I am a priority 32 and should expect the surgery to occur sometime in the next 9 months. Week 4, Monday morning, 9:20 minus missed calls, 9:30 minus message from my wife. Call me. I call her during my lunch break. As she answers the phone, I ask her, so when is my surgery? Week 5, Thursday morning, I get stabbed, jabbed and arthroscoped, kept in for observations and then released today on Friday, only to come home and submit my first Reddit post. Typing this one-handed has been a challenge. My wife received a call checking up on things and to inform her that Karen has undertaken a review of procedure and if my wife would like a formal apology from Karen. Whilst my wife was frustrated by her actions, an apology wasn't needed, knowing she had been updated on how to handle things so others wouldn't face a similar in-law situation was enough for us both. Not to mention my exceedingly short turnaround for surgery. Too long didn't read so, because I am defensive and supportive of my wife and she was told for me to email the address on the hospital website. I indulged in a little bit of malicious compliance and emailed 300 plus email addresses from the website with a clear indication of sending it to a few thousand if I received no response. I not only found out I was on the wait list, but I was seen to in record time. I love blasting companies online when they drag their feet. Bought a house last year and the heat stopped working in October. My house got down to 40 degrees in the month and half that the warranty company kept saying yes, tomorrow. I posted detailed reviews on every single review website on the first 2 Google search results pages, plus Facebook, Google Maps, and Yelp. I had 5 different people reply within 24 hours and 1 replied within 20 minutes on Facebook. My heat was working within 3 days. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing for more videos. Stay with Reddit is awesome.